Hello, my name is Christina Williams and I'm the Director of Operations for Coach Across America. And this is the Coach Across America Coach Orientation video number 3. And in this video, we'll be covering part 2 of the coach contract. On your Coach Handbook Acknowledgement signature page, found on page 31 of your handbook, you can sign off on the following components of the coach orientation: prohibited activities, discipline, non-discrimination, release from service, drug-free workplace, and grievance procedures after you have watched this video. Prohibited activities. So please note that while we'll be highlighting a few of the prohibited activities, you are responsible to have read and understand all of the prohibited activities. You'll find a complete list of these activities listed in both your coach contract and the coach handbook. And these activities are prohibited by the Corporation for National and Community Service, Coach Across America, and your host site during the entirety of your service. And these activities cannot be part of your service, nor should you be wearing Coach Across America or AmeriCorps gear or uniforms, identification, buttons, etc. while participating in these activities. Essentially what this means is that we're not saying that you can't participate in these activities. You just can't do it on AmeriCorps / Coach Across America time. So again, I'd just like to point out that this is not a full list. This is just a highlight of some of the prohibited activities, and here they are. You cannot attempt to influence legislation. You can't participate in protests, engage in religious instruction or worship, or participate in voter registration. Again, this is all only during your Coach Across America time. You also cannot duplicate the services or duties assigned to a present employee or volunteer at your host site. This is really important, that we're not duplicating services that or replacing someone who is employed by your host site. You can't raise funds for your own living allowance, and you also can't fundraise for your host site beyond the 10% of your minimum service hours, which can be directed toward capacity building activities. Also, you are prohibited from engaging in illegal activities, engaging in activities that pose a significant safety risk or threat, or engaging in harassment. Now, all of these things may seem kind of obvious, but it is important to realize that there are certain activities that you simply cannot perform while in your Coach Across America uniform and while you're collecting AmeriCorps hours. The next thing we'll be talking about is release from your term of service. And a coach can be released by the program from a term of service in 2 following ways. 1 is a suspension, and 2 is termination. And you should also understand that you can be released for the following 2 reasons. 1 is for cause, and the other is for compelling personal circumstances. The next topic we're going to brush is a drug-free workplace, and Coach Across America and each subsequent host site is a drug-free workplace. It's you and your host site are both prohibited from manufacturing, distributing, dispensing, or being in possession of any illegal controlled substance on AmeriCorps service time or in any program office or worksite premises. This is very serious, and anyone in violation of these terms will be terminated. Please reference your coach handbook and your coach contract for a further definition of drug-free workplace. Next, we'll talk about discipline. Our discipline procedure in Coach Across America is a progressive discipline approach, and here is an outline of that approach. Each Corps member will receive 3 strikes. The first strike consists of a counseling report that may be issued for minor infractions and excessive failure to adhere to policies and procedures. And a meeting will be held with the coach's site supervisor to discuss the problem. The second strike is a disciplinary report, and a meeting will be held with the coach's site supervisor and the director of operations, that's me, to discuss the nature of the problems and discuss an action plan for the coach in order to continue service. The third strike, if you receive a third strike, then you'll receive a second disciplinary report, and you'll also need to meet with your site supervisor and me, the director of operations, to discuss whether you'll be able to continue your term of service and whether a suspension or release from the program is necessary. And let's also talk for a quick moment about non-discrimination. Coach Across America, of course, is available to all without regard to race, color, origin, gender, political affiliation, disability, sexual orientation, or religion. And if you believe that you have been subject to discrimination on these grounds, please contact the Corporation for National and Community Service. They have an equal opportunity office, and their number is 202-606-5000, extension 312, or eo@cns.gov.